Many of us have seen or even participated in adding a filter to our Facebook profile picture in an aim to spread awareness about a crisis. Whether it be the French flag after the Paris terror attack in 2015, or a heart with the Union Jack for the 2017 Manchester bombing. This action is simply one example of Slacktivism. But does the participation in Slacktivism prevent further civic action during a crisis? So what actually is Slacktivism? Researcher Dana Rotman and her colleagues define Slacktivism as low-risk, low-cost activity via social media, whose purpose is to raise awareness, produce change, or grant satisfaction to the person engaged in the activity. So it's pretty much when someone doesn't really do much to help, but can say they've helped with a crisis by spreading awareness on social media. One standpoint of Slacktivism comes from critics, who argue that it may substitute other participation in crisis aid, because a person's urge to take action has already been satisfied by their participation in online action, which requires little effort and cost. Another standpoint from Danish professor Henrik Christensen labels Slacktivism as superficial, claiming that its main effect is to make participants feel good about themselves. However, the real-life impact of Slacktivism is limited. In addition, author Evgeny Morozov suggests that people's reasons for participating in Slacktivism have nothing to do with one's commitment to ideas, rather to impress one's friends. Sure, it's great for raising awareness about a crisis. However, Slacktivism is often simply a fad that booms in popularity for a short time and is forgotten about soon after. Slacktivism is often associated with social media trends, with an example of this being the use of Facebook filters to raise awareness following a crisis. I'm just going to narrow that down and focus on the use of Facebook filters after the Paris terror attacks. During November 2015, 129 people were killed by terrorists during a rock concert in Paris. In the 3 days that followed, 120 million Facebook users added a French flag overlay to their profile pictures in an attempt to raise awareness. However, critics argued that users were participating to impress fellow Facebook friends, rather than because they actually cared about the cause. For instance, American journalist Camilla Hodgson wrote that putting a filter on your profile picture can look a lot like a superficial repetition of a publicly acceptable opinion. But what happens when Slacktivism is actually effective in aiding a crisis? From one standpoint, Slacktivism is considered superficial. However, in some cases, Slacktivism can actually instigate action. Can we really call Slacktivism superficial if it succeeds in helping the victims of a crisis? This second example perfectly highlights this idea. Following the 2015 Nepal earthquakes, many celebrities such as Pink and Kevin Jonas tweeted in support of the victims. Yes, it doesn't take a lot of effort to sit behind a laptop or phone and type. However, unlike the use of a Facebook filter, these tweets actually contained information for the public to donate to the victims. Where the previous example simply raised awareness, this example did indeed promote further civic action. So I ask again, does a participation in Slacktivism prevent or promote further civic action during a crisis?